Hey there, Storm fans. I would like to say, Storm is not dead, and it is here to stay. Cycle Storm is the best Storm variant right now. I truly believe it. It's better than the Galvanic Relay Storm decks. It's just been amazing. The last 4 or so days, I've been jamming a ton of Cycle Storm lists, trying to figure out the proper build, what I can do to make the deck better, etc. And this all started because at the end of my last video, which you can find out in the card above, I mentioned that I wanted to try Unearth again. And Unearth was a way of speeding up the deck if you lost Lotus Petal. Well, it led me down to trying some of the older builds of Cycle Storm pre, Tolarian Winds, pre Mystical Teachings, the mono black Cycle Storm one. And they were explosive. That's like one thing that I've sort of lost over the last year or so of playing this deck is that the build that I've been running with Vent and Geothermal Crevice, they're a little bit slower, but they're more consistent, right? So a little bit of give, a little bit of take. And I was just really blown away at the speed of running 7 basic swamps in your deck, or 6 basic swamps because you run 10 land. But 6 basic swamps, 4 cycle lands. I was just blown away. And I started at 7 swamps and I went down to 6 because I was just like, wow, when you cycle this quickly, you don't need to hit lands as often. So I was just really shocked at how good 10 lands was in that build. And I then started messing around with other builds. I tried a mono red build. I tried a half red, half black build with 5 mountains, 5 swamps, and then Faithless Lootings in there instead of cycle lands to really churn through my deck. But ultimately, I found a lot of these builds without Mystical Teachings, just like I would get like, I'd have 25 cards left in my deck and I couldn't find a Reaping the Grave, or I couldn't find a Songs of the Damned in that time. And I'd just fizzle out and die. I truly believe that Mystical Teachings is probably necessary for Cycle Storm to be a viable deck. It's just without it, there's a lot of inconsistency in Pauper. You don't have Ponder or Brainstorm, and you just really need to find those key cards that make your deck work. And without Mystical Teachings, it's just not very consistent. So I then started brainstorming ways of being able to play Mystical Teachings in a mono black shell. And this is sort of what I've come up with. And it's gone over 3 or 4 iterations in the last 24 hours, so who knows? But I like this quite a bit. I was running 11 lands, but I found that I actually wanted a 12th because I was mulliganing a lot looking for additional lands. And sometimes that you actually want to just hold the Crumbling Vestige or Vestige, however you would like to say it. And you want to hold this. And playing that extra land allows you to hold it for your combo turn, so you can use it for a blue for Tolarian Winds or Mystical Teachings, or a red for Stinger. You can also add a white and play Drannith Stinger, which, it's a great thing to do versus aggro decks or burn. So it can buy you some time. And I've just been really blown away at how good this land has actually been. It's been phenomenal. So don't sleep on this. I highly recommend trying this out. Plus that card's like 5 cents. Where could you go wrong in trying it, right? So I've just really, really liked this build. And yeah, I mean, you get all the speed from playing swamps. So the nice thing about Vestige or Vestige, whatever you'd like to call it, is when it comes into play, let's read what the card does first. So some of you might not even know. It comes into play tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, it triggers and adds a mana of any color. On its own, it taps for a colorless. So you can actually churn, much like you would a basic swamp, through your deck on turn 1 and turn 2 with this card. And then mid combo, you can use it to mana fix, and it's just been really, really delightful. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the card. It's just been so good, and it's so good to the point where I've cut my vents. I'm no longer playing any sack lands. I'm just running this mana base. So hopefully today in this video, you'll get to see the rewards of playing this land. It can bite you. It certainly can happen where you open up on a hand with multiple vestiges or vestige, whatever you'd like to call it. I'm going to stop that now. But yeah, so it can bite you, but so far I found that the reward is just so much better, and that I'd accept those rare circumstances where that happened. So yeah, I did try Faithless Looting in this deck, and I tried it for a number of matches and leagues, and I just don't think that's really where I want to be. I think Tolarian Winds is just a lot more powerful. And that's another thing I really missed about not playing the blue versions, is Tolarian Winds just allows you to skip through all the mana that would be required to cycle through a Reaping the Graves. And I miss that a lot because you just like return 14 cards or whatever, or even 6 or 7, and then you don't have to pay the cost on cycling all those cards. You just, discard them, draw. It's pretty good. And I just missed it. So I'm glad that I'm back to playing essentially my normal Grixis list, but in a mono black shell. So this list has been the best of both worlds, and I hope that you get to see that today. And the sideboard. We have 2 copies of Darkness for the aggro decks. It's just a 1 mana Time Walk. I was playing 3, but I found that I didn't actually know what to board out for the 3rd, and I didn't like siding out too many cyclers. So I went down to 2. It's been fine. This will be my first league with 2, so we'll see how it goes. Divest. I was originally playing 3, and I've gone down to 2. I like it, but I found that with 3, I was drawing it a little bit too often because you really only want to open hand it and then never see it again. The reason to play Divest is that it hits Spellstutter Sprite, but it also hits Relic of Progenitus, and it can hit Atog against Affinity. So all of those things pretty nice, but Dress is still the better card. And I found with 6 protection spells, once again, I felt like I was over sideboarding. So I like 5. And then Exhume. This is a card that I've gone back and forth a lot with over the last 4 days. I've cut it from lists, I've added it back in. I don't know how I feel about it at the moment, but it's fine. It allows you to play the Reanimator plan against control decks, helps you beat Graveyard Hate, so it's pretty good. And then Death Denied. I don't know how I feel about this. This is my first league ever playing it. So the concept is that it gives you a 5th copy of Reaping the Graves, but it also can help you beat Graveyard Hate. So instead of blowing up something like a Relic, you just play through it. And so you would cast, Reaping the Graves targeting your cards. They would Relic you, and in response, you would return some creatures to you. But if they don't have a Relic, it's still an action spell. That's the idea behind Death Denied. I don't know if I like it or not. Let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. I'd actually appreciate that. And then Weather the Storm. You have 4 of the colorless land and then 4 Lotus Petal to cast it. I don't think you need Geothermal Crevice when you have 8 green sources in your deck, but if you want to play a sideboard land over the Death Denied, perhaps you can do that. Or maybe even something like a Chromatic Star. You could play that instead of Death Denied if you want. If you have any changes or suggestions, I am always open to hearing them. I love feedback and trying new things, so definitely let me know. And if you're looking to support this video, definitely leave a comment in the section down below. Get us into that lovely YouTube algorithm. I would appreciate that. And while you're down there, if you're not already, please subscribe. It's free and easy to do. It supports the channel, and to make sure that you stay up to date with the latest and greatest Storm content, including this lovely, I should not use lovely so often, this fantastic Cycle Storm deck. Better adjective. Yeah. And if you're looking to go that extra mile, next to the subscribe button, there's a join button to become a member. You receive sweet perks. So heads up, our Discord is free to everyone. Everyone. So feel free to join it because it costs you nothing. But when you become a member, you get access to the member section of that Discord with all the secret stuff in it. And over the last week, I've been talking a ton about Cycle Storm in there. So if you're a Cycle Storm aficionado, go check it out. You'll like a lot of what I've been posting. But on top of that, you get that secret stuff that you get to read. There's more benefits. So we have a middle tier where you get 50% off donation decks, sideboard guides, and then our top tier where you get everything, including a free donation deck plus more. You get to see all the videos early. Make sure you read all that information in there. I promise it's great. But if you're looking to support us in any other way, you can go directly to theepicstorm.com/donation decks. And in there, you attach your deck list, you pick a tier to sign up for, and then you can see your combo deck featured here on this very YouTube channel. Then we have theepicstorm.com/shop, where we have a ton of card singles, a ton of them, mostly for Legacy, but we do have a lot in there. I like to say a lot that Pauper is Legacy Light, so maybe there's something you need. Go check it out. I would appreciate that. But we also have sweet, sweet Storm swag. Pint glasses, playmats, token packs, the Storm 20 baseball tee, stickers. Go check it out. You won't regret it. I promise. Speaking of the token pack, this is brand new. They literally came in less than a week and a half ago. We've already sold 70 plus of them. They're moving quickly. So if you want yours for your return to paper play, go do it. It's also fantastic for keeping track of Storm and mana with this very deck. You get 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, and then 20 storm counters for counting your way, all up to 20 with Grape Shot. It's great in every format. You have a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator token, 4 treasure tokens for Striker Rich, and then for our vintage friends, 10 monks. For our modern companions, we have Slime Time, Ave Progenitor Ooze tokens. They're all copies of Ave, but the power and toughness is already built in. So you're not fumbling around with dice. We wanted to make it easy on you. This token back is to make your life simple, so why wouldn't you grab it? And then we have Empty the Warrens versus everyone's favorite recently banned Pauper card, Chatterstorm. Squirrels versus goblins. What more could you possibly want, right? Except for more Cycle Storm content. So I'm going to shut up now, and then I will see you in match number 1. You're not going to want to go anywhere because this league is going to be amazing, I think. I don't know. See you there. Hey there. Welcome to round number 1. We are on the play. Let's get it. This hand seems fine to me. Let's keep. Okay. Barrenmore pass. Oh. Pass. What are we facing? Likely Tron. And it's looking fairly Tron-like. So Tron's a tough matchup because they have crop rotation to main deck Bajuka Bog, which is obviously very good against us. There's the mine. Okay. Cycle the healer. Okay. Could try to accelerate into horror, but I don't know if I like that. I think I'm just gonna pass. Pulse, okay. Heap of Temptation. Right, so they're missing another Tron line. That's good for us. Cycle. And I don't think I want to do the Hardcast Horror plan, but you never know. Cycle the Street Wraith. Cycle, cycle, cycle. You don't need to do that on the unstep draw. Okay. It certainly opens up some options. I think I'm going to start off by cycling the Street Wraith. So if they don't have... Oh, that was good. Ball Ritual? I think I'm supposed to respond to this. Okay. Target our creatures. The question is whether or not I try to put horror into play. I guess I could take a couple draws. It's like kind of free to cycle Street Wraith, so let's do that. Cycle, cycle. As long as you don't go below 5, I can still hardcast the horror. And another one. Well, out of Reaping the Graves. Okay, I'm going to let them untap. 4. They usually don't have counter spells for horror. That said, there is like one, what is it called? Cast down in the main deck that they can reoccur a bunch. But the chances are they don't have it, like the one of cast down. So here's a crop rotation. Yep. That's why I acted as an instant in response to the unwind. Interesting that they got Bajuka Bog now. We could have went and gotten another Tron land and they chose Bog. Like a little bit interesting. If we draw a blue source plus Tolarian Winds. Okay, come on, deck. Give me a blue source. Please. Let's see if we can cycle into a blue source here. It would just be lethal. Okay. I mean, I could Cabal Ritual, but it seems like a waste. Alright, I guess it gives me an extra luck at a blue source. Boom! That's what we call lethal. This is so cool. Imagine just dying to Tolarian Winds like this. What up? Ugh. What a way of starting a league. Just like that, 20 power. Okay, so I do like Duress here because it hits crop rotation. And I like Exhume for the reason that we just saw of just killing our opponent dead. Yeah. So with 6 cards coming in, we need some stuff to take out here. I don't think that this is a divest matchup, so I'm not interested in that. You could board in the Death Denied, but I don't know. I think it's free to board out 1 Tolarian Winds, probably 1 Teachings, and then we can go down to 20 creatures. It's just what creature do we want to take out? In my opinion, it's Carabid, because this is a creature we never want to put into play because it dies to Hydro. No, yeah, Hydroblast. So it's not a creature we want to exhume. In reality, the only creature we want to exhume is Horror. A little bit awkward. I got excited at first because I thought it was turn 1 Horror. I looked at the Cabal Ritual and thought it was Exhume. I think we're supposed to ship this. So it's interesting because you can go turn 1 Dark Ritual, cycle Stinger, Cabal Ritual, cycle Stinger, and then cycle Horror at some point. So you get a lot of looks for Exhume, but also if you just draw an untapped land, you can turn 1 for the hard way. So untapped land or Exhume do it. We have 8 mana sources that do it. So 11 outs. You know what? For science. This is not going to be pretty. Draw. Okay, that's an extra look. And that's a turn 1 Horror of the Broken Lands. I forgot about Cabal Ritual. I don't love this. Okay, this is what we're doing. I would have liked a land so that way we could cycle the Stingers, and instead we just had this creature. Okay. It would be very funny if we just won by attacking with Horror 5 times. Here's Impulse. Okay. They probably left in their cast down, so that's what we're looking to fade here. Or the Broken Lands, carry me to the Promised Land. That's what I'm asking for. Crop rotation. Yep, so now they have Tron. What are they going to do with Tron? Okay. Draw. No land. We get a 12. Just hope that they have triple counterspell in hand, I guess. Another Impulse. I mean, they had a very good hand. Turn 3 Tron with double search. What is this? This is making me nervous. Oh, they're the Crusher variant. Okay. Well, we just lost. All right, so game 3 coming up. Yeah, we didn't have much coming. I don't think I want to change how I boarded. I think I'm fine with it. Would have been a lot better had we had lands, because I could have forced a trade with the Crusher instead of just like going all in on turn 1. Science was not pleased. I'm gonna keep this against better judgment. So if we can draw a fat creature to put in play off Exhume on turn 2, that would be ideal. But I'm not gonna like ritual cycle. I think that's a little aggressive. I'm just gonna cycle this up. On Horror of the Broken Lands. Barrenmore. Cycle. Thought about holding the Barrenmore there to cycle, but I think we just need land drops too. Draw. Yeah, I mean, we need creatures. Draw. Yikes. Triple Exhume. Well, I guess the silver lining is that they don't have any bronze stuff. Throw out an Exhume, see if it resolves. I'm going to cycle this. And I'm going to hang on to the land. Don't need to play that out yet. Teachings. Okay. Drop rotation. Draw. Yikes. We just have to pass the turn here. Interesting that they don't have a single Tron land. Other teachings? Other prohibit, okay. So they're looking for land. They found one. No Tron land. We try to eat up some counter spells here with these Exhumes. They're gonna get Bajuka Bog. Then we can cycle Stinger in response to the Exhume resolving. So they do have a prohibit, so they could prohibit the Exhume now. Okay. And now the question is, would we rather have Stinger or the Dino? Stinger dies to Hydroblast. We're going to go Dino. It's Dino time. It's a dinosaur eat dinosaur world. What is this? Okay, so they're probably going to Ephemerate. Yep. Pretty good for them. They found a Tron land. Get in there. I've never attacked with a Dino before, so this is a first for me. Okay, let's cycle Healer. Duress? What do you have going on, opponent? They do have 2 teachings in their graveyard, so pretty soon they're going to be able to start flashing those back. Yeah, their hand can't interact with us right now, but doesn't really matter a whole lot. Plus I drew like exactly Reaping the Graves off that. That did not happen. I'm going to hang on to the land. It is our color fixing. And the wall's going to blank the dinosaur as well. Interesting, they chose to not play the wall. Okay. So they have 7 mana up, which means that they can Mystical Teachings for another crop rotation. But I don't think they have double bog. So the question is, do we want to waste this Reaping the Graves on 3 creatures? I think the answer is probably no. There's the Teachings. And they got a crop rotation, so now they're going to have Tron. Yep. Tron has been unlocked. Prism. Creature. I don't think I want to cast that yet. Just gonna pass. Mystical Teachings. And Flicker can hit lands, I believe. So now they have Flicker Bajuka Bog, which is part of what I was worried about there, which is, you know, why I didn't Reaping the Graves. But we're in a tough spot. What is this? The Crusher. Gonna get crushed. They still have Flicker Bog open. Ease. I'm just gonna wins. I think that they might try to counterspell this. No. Okay. Well, that wasn't good for me. So when they attack, we'll sacrifice the dinosaur and then one of the colorless lands, but I don't know how we win this now. They just exile their graveyard. Yep. We're in trouble. Let's sack the dino, sack a land. Even if we lose this match, you cannot take that game one away from me, which was just awesome. So I don't even mind if I lose. But I imagine that we're done. So they should get back the Ghostly Flicker, and then they can flick Mnemonic Wall and Bog. Ephemerate's very similar. Another step in the process, but might as well be the same. It's very difficult for us to beat the deck that has Crop Rotation and a Bajuka Bog and then Flicker Bog. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to beat this. Okay. Looks like they might Flicker now. Sure. So they have 6 cards in hand. I know 2 of them. And they got back the Flicker, so they can Flicker again on my turn. There's just no chance that I beat what they're going for, because they can just keep on flickering in response. So I've lost this one. We are starting this league 0-1. Match number 2, and we are on the play. This seems fine to me. Keep. One is taking a mulligan. Yeah, one thing I've always struggled with this deck is just like not being able to beat Tron. That is one matchup that the Galvanic Relay Storm deck is likely just much better at, is beating Tron. Looks like elves. Cycle. Cycle. Add a black. Cycle. It could also be Walls, I suppose, right? I think Walls plays that. But it's more likely to be elves. A good start for us so far. That's elves. Really? No second land and just an attack. Okay. Cycle. Another Reaping? That's okay. Cool. Just pass here. I could actually use a few more spells at this point, which is kind of odd to say, but We don't have a whole lot of storm to generate into this repeat. Okay, Dark Ritual's a good draw. I'm just going to pass, though. No need to try to go off here. Wait a turn, see what we can draw. Another Well-Wisher? Sure. Kind of getting in there for 2, so we go to 11. Another Reaping the Graves, okay. Guess we're going to cast some spells. Have these colorless into Reaping the Graves. I honestly wonder if we can just, like, Stinger Wind from here. Stinger, Street Wraith, Wraith. Maybe this is the wrong approach, but I'm going to try it. Also increases storm count. Okay. Stinger. So this Street Wraith deals 2 to each of us now. The 4th Reaping, okay. Nice. It'd be nice to see some rituals. Draw. There we go. And then this returns 7, which is quite a bit. Sorry. We don't have 8 creatures, though. I technically stacked this wrong, because I should have drawn the Street Wraiths first. Because if I drew a Songs, I could have, like, cycled into Songs to make more mana. The last Street Wraith, then I'm allowed to cycle. Cycle this. Cycle. Would have liked a Cabal Ritual or Songs. Right now, we're actually dead if we don't draw a Ritual, because I can't deal them lethal. Okay, that Ritual was good. And that's actually lethal. Had it the whole time. You were worried about me. Clearly, I was going to always win this. Okay, now we can just let the final copy of Reaping the Graves resolve to give us our last cycler to ping for lethal. Blam blam. Game number 1 over elves. So this is a matchup that you can board in darkness, since like they just tried to attack you to death. Probably board out like 1 Tolarian Winds. And you can do like 1 Mystical Teachings or like 1 Cycler. I'm gonna do 1 Cycler. Get a little bit risky here. If you are unaware, I'm a part of the Eternal Glory podcast alongside Phil Gallagher and Brian Koval. We primarily discuss Legacy. Today, the day that I record this, we had a brand new episode out that's a mailbag where we answer listener questions. We're pretty interesting, and we're available on all major podcast platforms. Go give that episode a listen. Okay, this hand is great. We're going to keep. So I do know that older builds of Storm used to run Grizzly Survivor to beat Tron. Maybe that's something I could look into. Just thinking off the top of my head about ways to possibly beat Tron if Tron's going to come back. Like maybe Survivor wouldn't be terrible. Finding Way. No second land, and they discarded a Dispel. I love to see that. Cycle this Horror. And Darkness. Black. Cycle the Carabid. Okay. Still reasonable. We just need to draw an action spell eventually. We do have this Darkness to buy some time. Okay. Just cycle this now. Looking for a land. That's not the land that I want, though. Also, I might want to keep that for cycling. Yeah, I'm going to keep that for cycling. I'm just going to play out the pedal here, which also gives me protection from death with this Timberwatch Elf, just in case they manage to create lethal this turn. There's a Ranger. Okay, getting a little closer to death here. This does. An Elf. Okay, so they can untap it with Ranger and put me to 1. Oh, they added another one. So they did have lethal. I just missed that they did that. So I'm going to Darkness here. You believe in a thing called love? Fogged. Right. That said, we do have to find action this turn. Okay, another Barrenmoor. These Barrenmoors have to hit. There we go. Cycle. Don't want to play the lands yet. And I'm going to play all of the songs right now for Storm Count. Because we're going to need all of the card draw that we can get here. Street Wraith, because it saves on mana. We have 5 redraws, which isn't a whole lot. Okay. Not looking too good so far. So now, if we draw another Crumbling Vestige or Vestige, we can Mystical Teachings for another Reaping the Graves. We only have 2 looks. Cycle. Alright, Barrymore keeping us in it. Come on, deck. Good deal. Bring home that Street Wraith. Target these. Creatures coming home. I could do like the cycling trick in case I draw a songs, but there's only 1 songs left in the deck, and I'd rather just do it at my own pace. So you could, in theory, stack the draw or the returns and keep cycling, but I don't feel like doing that. Okay, so the pedal guarantees that we can Mystical Teachings for the last songs this turn. Okay, there's Reaping the Graves. That's good. Keep cycling. All right, another colored source. Go to 12 and cycle Street Wraith here. Stinger. Pretty good. I'm going to play out Stinger. We still have pedal Mystical Teachings for the last songs as well. I'm going to have to cycle that Stinger. Okay. Auto yielding these. Let's go get that songs. Of the Damned. Had a bunch of mana, Reaping the Graves. Bring all of our dead friends home. Like that dinosaur up there who's just been waiting to be returned. All on its lonesome. Return all of these. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's keep cycling. Go all the way to the end. That way I can see if I draw a pedal so I can play another Stinger at the point. Auto yield. It just makes this easy. Do another darkness, okay. I thought it was a dark ritual. There's no more copies of Songs of the Damned, so we are only drawing to dark rituals and Cabal Ritual. Right now, we actually just have lethal because we have these spirit rates, so we don't have to pay mana to cycle those. There's a Cabal Ritual, so that actually just seals it up even without Spirit Wraith. Deep cycling. So this match was definitely won by our 2 copies of Darkness, that's for sure. There's a Petal. Play another Stinger, so that way our other Stinger has a friend. No! Denied! Very rude. Okay, we are now 1-1. Match 3, and we are on the play. Keep. Baronmore, pass. Makes me sad when we don't open with untapped lands, but sometimes that happens. Alright, so this is Walls combo. Land? Okay. I mean, if I'm not going to draw a land, I would definitely take a Songs. Winding Way. They got all of them. All of the things. They sacrificed Tinderwall. I'm going to be lazy and just maybe cycle these. It's not like Walls can punish me for it, so... Deal. So now they're probably going to play one of the untap walls. Yep. And I don't think that they're going to kill me next turn, so I don't feel the pressure to try to win. So I'm just going to have another setup turn and then try to win the turn after. Alright, Teachings is good. Right, so I have the choice here of discarding Teachings or playing this land and cycling again, and I think I just want to cycle. Cinderwall. I guess I'll find out if I'm dead. Guardian for 3. This Veilcut Invoker maybe? No. Need the stamp. Is this the one that untaps? Yeah. So they're on a more combo-centric build. Probably could have guessed that based on this creature as well. Alright, we're 1 short of Threshold, so we're going to cycle this healer and then cast Cabal Ritual. Cool. Cycle. Free Wraith is a good one. Cycle again. Okay, so kind of forced into casting these now. I think I want to Teachings for another Songs just to increase storm count. Their storm's a little bit low. Okay, so this is going to return 6. In theory, what I could do is flashback Teachings for another Songs. It wouldn't make a whole bunch of mana, but it would increase the storm by 2. I think I'm okay with that. Like 20 mana should be enough. My concern is just like using Reaping the Graves on that few creatures, just like it doesn't seem great to me. Okay. Cycle. Now we just want to find a red source. And I probably messed up by starting this turn by playing a land. Because I could have held the land for a possible red source for these Stingers. Cycle here. Ball Ritual. Just go into Cycle Town. Population me. There's a Petal. Get this cycle show on the road. Cycle. Auto yield to these draws. We should have it from here. Pretty unlikely that we fit. Because I know that we have to pay 3 mana into Reaping the Graves, but there's also some Street Wraiths in there that we can cycle. So our mana almost equals, and now it's greater than their life total, which just means that they're dead. Yeah, it's Reaping the Graves. Bring all of the dead friends back. Okay. All of these creatures are my friends. They help me win. And winning is everything. Except for round 1 in a pair. Okay. We just keep cycling. Cycle, cycle, cycle. They're deterministically dead already. So at this point, we just have to execute the combo. And there's a Lotus Petal, so that means we can play another Stinger. Love to cast Stingers. Okay. Cycle a Dino, why not? Wraith? I don't know. I'm just cycling. I started to second guessing cycling the Street Wraith right there, because what if for some reason they have some crazy card that deals me lethal? I don't know. So I'm just not going to cycle Street. And we've gotten game number 1 over walls. I don't think we're supposed to sideboard against walls. I think we're honestly just pre-boarded. So I'm going to click submit and hopefully do something very similar in game number 2. Sure. This hand too slow. I'm going to keep it. Ranger, okay. So they were missing a second link. But Battlement's a good start for them. Like, this is a very powerful start. Like, they would have preferred another land, but it's not bad. Okay. I think I'm honestly just going to discard a creature here. Get me closer to Threshold for Cabal Ritual, and I'm not losing Storm by playing out a Petal. Underwall, okay. And they were doing the walls thing. They have 1 card in hand. So I'm like I don't feel pressured to go for it here. I know that they have a whole lot of mana, but like that's not everything. And I think I'm gonna play this in cycle. Like they haven't shown a payoff yet. So they need a payoff. Is this the infinite mana creature? That's okay, so I haven't seen this card yet. Is this like I don't know if this wins the game. I just don't know. So you'll be learning with me. They're dungeoning. Okay. Apparently they have infinite mana. Or did they return to 4? They must have returned to 4. So apparently it's not a win. But maybe we're supposed to try to win now. Cycle Street Wraith. Okay, let's cycle the Dino. It's going to be the 6th card in the graveyard. We need 7 for Threshold. So we're going to sack this Petal for a blue, so that way we can cast Mystical Teachings. But it also gives us Threshold for Cabal Ritual. And again, cycle Stinger. Cycle this Carabid. And let's Teachings. Let's go get a song. Try to increase the storm count a little bit. Alright, so this Reaping the Grapes is for 7. I could Mystical Teachings right now, and then like go get another songs, but I don't think that's worth it. I'm just gonna bring these back because that Mystical Teachings might need to go get another Reaping the Grapes at some point. Okay. Cycle Street Wraith. And I know, like, you can do the whole cycle with every draw or every return on the stack. When we have this much mana, you don't need to do that. And the reason that I comment on this is that people love to, like, make that comment in the comment section, like, you should really be doing this. But when you have that much floating, you just don't need to. Okay, keep cycling. Their Cabal. And this is why I didn't burn the Mystical Teachings in case we need to go get Reaping the Graves. Okay, that's a good one. Always had it. Pure skill game. Okay. Just keep cycling. Okay. Now we can return Stinger. Do I want to flashback Teachings? I don't think so. So we have enough Storm to return all the creatures right now. It's just guaranteeing us more mana to cycle into our deck. Yeah, that's probably worth it. So let's go get the last song. Like, it makes a little bit of extra mana, but I think it just guarantees that we're going to go deeper with our cycles. Stinger. Teaching so strong. Select all of our friends. Okay, so we only have one red source at the moment, so we can only play one Stinger. But we should be able to cycle through the rest of our deck. Yeah, Stinger. Let's start cycling. Boom! 2-1. Crumbling Vestige, the real deal. Don't make fun of how I say it, because I don't know if that's the right way or not. Just be nice. I'll see you match number 4. On the play yet again. Let's get it. Keep. Her deck is just straight fire. So this is the sort of thing that I talked about in the intro with having 12 lands. You're just mulliganing a little bit less. And I know that this might not be the swamp that I'm playing that's extra, but 12 lands, I mean, we haven't had a whole lot of mulligans yet this league. Okay, so ship this. Well, we're not going to ship, we're passing. We're going to cycle on their step. But I've been playing a lot of lists with only 11 lands. I just feel like I'm mulliganing a lot. And Grant. Okay, so they're on elves. Land Grant's an interesting one. I don't know if they really need to be playing that, but whatever. Looking for a land here ourselves. Cycle this Carabid. If we don't draw a land off this, we'll cycle Straight Wraith. Yep. Got a red because I can cycle the Drannith Healer. I don't really feel pressured to try to have a turn 3. Like, we can probably go off turn 4, maybe even turn 5. So let's not force ourselves to go off too early. Okay, and now they can play Priest. Yep. They're going to have a whole buttload of mana next turn. They do have a Distant Melody, which is a little bit concerning. But I don't think we need to force to go off here. Cycle the Healer. Okay. Cycle Horror. Okay, I like the Cabal Ritual draw. That was actually very good. Now let's see what our opponent can do with all this priest mana. It's worth noting that they do have a distant melody they're going to be able to cast, so this is going to be a pretty good turn for the opponent. I just don't think that elves can actually deal lethal all in one turn, or at least as far as I know that they can't. I don't know about this list. So we're going to watch our opponent just go bananas, and then we'll untap and try. Okay, so they've replayed their forest, so they've played a land for turn. Here's the Timber Watch. I didn't realize that it was an Eternal Masters with new art. Eternal Masters feels like forever ago. There's Distant Melody. A fresh 7 cards. Pretty good, pretty good. You doing, opponent? Elvish Vanguard, okay. I can move my sideboard. I like keeping it open. I know that I don't need it open, but I like having it open. When I was testing Gnaw to the Bone this week, it was really nice having my sideboard open because Gnaw and the sideboard always tells you how many creatures are in your graveyard when you don't have a Songs in hand. So you always know what, if you draw songs, how much mana it's making, and that's honestly very, very nice. Part of me is like, I should just run a Gnaw on the board for that reason, but I think Weather's probably a little bit better. I was running Gnaw because I was running List with Faithless Looting, and I think that in that circumstance, Gnaw becomes better than Weather. Okay, and the opponent's just going wild. Doing their thing. 3 mana. Another lead. They should be out of mana at this point. Yeah, so now it's our turn to do some stuff. Dark Ritual. I can tap this land to cycle the Stinger first. No need to use a black mana on that. Another T. We only have 1 blue mana at. I guess it doesn't really hurt to cycle the Baron more. Maybe draw a spell. This is going to make up for itself. I just need to keep enough mana to Teachings for Songs of the Dam, which is 5, and this is going to leave me with 5. Okay. Blue, Teachings, go get Songs. Songs is making 10. So I could flashback Teachings for Songs. That only makes 1 mana, but it does increase the storm by 2. The problem with doing that is our opponent went all the way up to 28. I don't think that's a very good line of him. So instead, I'm just going to do this. And I will be doing the, like, return 1, cycle 1, etc. Trying to save some mana. The Reaping the Graves is good. Whoops. Please forgive me. What have I done? Okay. I'd like to draw some mana, please. So that is a blue source for songs. Alright, so I can cycle this. I just want to make sure I don't go too low. So I'm allowed to cycle 1 more. Right? Cancel. 3, 4. No, I'm not allowed to cycle. Not allowed. Okay, so it's Teachings. Go get Songs. I don't even know how much mana this one's going to make. 10, so same as the last one. And I'm going to cycle these before casting Reaping the Graves. Because I could, in theory, Teachings for another Songs. What's going on here? A little glitchy. Alright, so let's go get the other Songs. I really want to do that. I'm a little bit worried I'm not going to have enough mana to kill the opponent. But I could also fizzle. So this song's made 10, so there's 13 mana it would make. Which means that the last one just needs to make a buttload of mana. Or I can keep cycling. We've used one Dark Ritual. One Dark Ritual so far. 2 Cabal Rituals. I think I'm going to cycle. There's a Dark Rit. Cycle. Cycle. Needed a song. There we go. This should be an easy game. Made a good choice there. Stinger. Stinger. Selecting creatures. I feel like I might have accidentally double-clicked on the same creature there. And that's Street Wraith. So in theory, I could have flashback at Teachings right there for the last songs. I just don't know how much that matters. Okay. So let's start our cycle session. 21 cards left in their deck. Or in our deck, I'm sorry. So we should be able to draw through our deck, which means we're going to eventually draw that songs. Dark Rit. Cycle of Horror. Cabal Ritual. We have 2 Lotus Petals left as well, which means that at some point I should be able to cast another Stinger. I don't think it really matters which creatures I cycle. There's the songs. At this point, we just want to find the petals. Okay. There's a petal. So they'll gain 2 life when we put the Stinger into play. Cycle. Another Stinger. Just going through the motion. Cycle. So we should have 1 copy of Lotus Petal left, by the way. So we should be able to play out the 3rd Stinger. There it is. So this will gain them 2 life once again. That has not changed. But one of the benefits of us not casting the Teachings for Reaping the Graves is that we can deal a buttload of damage here before we would ever deck. I was playing against somebody the other day, and they thought that they were pretty comfortable because they went up to 59 with Weather the Storm, and then I just like easily killed them from 59. Like I probably could have dealt like 90 something with the way that that game ended up playing out. So weather is not everything. This deck can deal quite a bit of damage. Okay. Currently, I can actually kill them before I would even deck. Cycle. And again. And again. Another Reaping the Graves. I don't think we're going to be needing that. Okay. And then let's cycle a Stinger to kill them. Seems like the right thing to do. Wooch wooch. Game 1 over Elves. I believe I sided in Darkness last time, and it was pretty good. I mean, we should probably do that again, right? I think we boarded out Tolarian Winds and then a single cycler. I think we kept both Teachings correctly. Do it up. Yeah, I've been a really big fan of this mana base so far. Like it feels really good. It's just it's fast and you get the benefit of running Tolarian Winds. So it's really the best of both worlds. You do get those awkward hands every once in a while, but as you can see so far in this league, it's not that often. Game number 2, and we've opened up a decent hand. We could probably use another cycler, um, another creature cycler, that is. But we have Barrenmore, which might be able to do some lifting for us. Let's just see how it goes. We have Darkness as a 1 black Time Walk. Draw. Okay. Didn't really need another Barrenmore. Not the end of the world. Priest? That's a scary start. We're going to attack. I'm just going to cycle this. Okay. Songs of the Damned. Draw. Another songs. I'm going to cycle a Barrenmore. And I'm going to cycle another Barrenmore. Okay. Not in a great spot. Land grant. What do you have over there? Okay. They have another Vanguard and Distant Melody. I think they should probably just play the Vanguard. Yeah, they changed their mind, and I think that's the right move. Because this could represent, I mean, it'd have to be a really good Distant Melody, but it's possible. Draw. Okay. Cool. And I have Darkness up, so I'm just going to pass here. We don't need to try to force a win this turn. Okay. So this looks like it's going to be Distant Melody. Got it. Draw those 4 cards. I think we knew that our opponent didn't draw a creature, or else they would have played it pre-Distant Melody. So they probably drew a land for turn. The Timberwatch. Still 2 cards in hand. I'm a little bit worried that like one of the cards they could have drawn was Dispel. So I'm not sure if I want to try to win on this upcoming turn or not. Really be nice if we drew a creature though. Okay. So this will be the 6th card to the graveyard for Cabal Ritual as well. I think that this is go time. Cycle this Carabid. Use one of the songs for Storm. Okay. So we're going to do the maintain priority. I guess it's not really maintaining priority, but cycling in between every copy so that way we can potentially maximize the Songs of the Damned. Right. Here we go. We have not played a land, so we could play that as a blue or red source of. Not going to cycle that. That doesn't help advance. Okay, cycle. Other songs, I like that. Cycle this. Keeping the creature train rolling. Halfway through our deck at this point. I'm going to cycle the Barrenmore. Now that we have a little bit of extra mana. Okay, burn the songs. 17 mana. I think at this point we can play our Stingers and start to shoot the. Clicking on all the creatures, doing the thing. With double stinger, this should just be lethal. Play the land, make a red. Just like you have 8 Lotus Petals in your deck now. It's really beautiful. Let's cycle. Let's end this. Like, Songs is a good draw. I'm not going to complain about drawing. A little bit, we're using too much luck in a way. Like, we're drawing too well. We need to save some of this for match number 5. Okay, keep on cycling our bug friends. When I'm going through this, what I like to do is cycle creatures that I know that I've auto-yielded, or I have a lot of them so I can auto-yield because like once you auto-yield it, it just rewards you for not having to do it again. So like if you have a lot of dinos, cycle dinos and auto-yield. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Makes me feel better. Okay, so we have defeated elves. Match number 5 coming up, and we're playing for the 4-1. On the play, yet again, it's match number 5. Alright. Yes, let's do it. No lands, but otherwise this hand would have been amazing. Unfortunately, I think we had... And this is good. I think we get rid of the pedal. Just pass. No need to show them that we're on Cycle Storm by doing it in our main phase. So, yep. Yeah, I guess we can cycle the Carabet. That's the best creature to cycle here. This matchup I found to be, like, it should be a blowout, but, like, every time I face it, like, I just end up with these slow draws, and it makes me very nervous. Another ritual. We need lands and cyclers. I don't like this. Okay. Armor, that's a fast clock. Be dead before we know it. Draw. We need creatures, and we also need a Reaping the Graves. Well, there's Graves. I'm not going to go for it this turn. I'm going to hope that we draw a creature next turn. Assuming that we get another turn. Cartouche, okay. Please don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Aim for 8, they'll put me to 7. Okay. Creature. Well, we have to go for it. You have Mana Tithe? We are so dead. We are not winning. That's a bummer. Okay. This is not pretty. I've, like, in theory, you can win off this being a draw 3. It's just so unlikely. Like, if we hit, like, running creatures and then another Reaping the Graves, like, maybe. Cycle. Teachings. Guess we have to cycle the Baron more. This just, like, isn't going to work. Let's just go to game 2. Like, you're just not going to win off that. Okay, let's bring in those darkness. Same plan. In theory, you could probably board in Divest on the play and, like, maybe discard their creature and then leave them with a handful of enchantments. But I've never found that to be, like, that great of an option. Because what if they just open on 2? Or what if you draw Divest mid-combo? Like, you don't really want that to happen. Yeah, on the play for game number 2. Sure, this seems fun. I believe this is the first time we've been on the play post board in game 2. Pretty sure we've won every game 1 this league. Hey, the Scourge. Cycle. Cycle. In theory, I could next turn play healer and cycle to buy some time. Let's see what the draw step is. That might not be like the worst. Yeah. They've played a plane. And bodyguard. Judgment All-Star. Sure. Alright. It might seem crazy. I'm going to play the healer. Buy some time here. Cycle. I have a feeling that we're going to need it. We don't have many rituals yet. We still also want more creatures in the graveyard. Okay. Land number Skyguard, okay. Not going to swing into Skyguard, that's not with this healer. This healer needs to do some heavy lifting. I wonder if it's crazy here to Reaping the Graves back the Cyclers and then just like accept that I'm going for a slower plan and then use Teachings for another Reaping the Graves later. I think that's the plan. And I'm going to try to hold the Ritual and use the Petals for Storm. They could like Mana Tithe this, but I don't know why they would. And I'm just gonna like we did lose a Reaping the Graves, but this is gonna buy us a decent amount of time. We have Teachings to get another copy of Reaping the Graves. Like this doesn't seem like the worst play to me. Cycling step. That means that it's a 3/3 now. What you doing, opponent? Yep. Okay, so I'm taking 5 and going to 12. We're going to cycle on the end step up to 13. Let's go. Auto yield to that ability. Baron more. I mean, it cycles. I mean, it's pretty, not great. They're Baron more. I should have kept my mouth shut, and then I wouldn't have drawn another one. It's just basic math. Cycle. Okay. Now we're back at 17. We've just negated their entire turn. I'm not playing this Baron more. I think we might have played our land anyway. I think we played a swamp. Yeah. I'm just going to pass here. And now we have Darkness. Healer just doing work. Thank you, Crumbling Vestige, as I like to say it. Vestige. Flank. So our opponent is, gaining some life here. We do have to be a little bit concerned with, resources and stuff, but I think we'll be fine. Still holding 2 cards in there. So this is 6. We gained 6 last turn. No reason we can't do it again. Draw. Pickle healer. All right. Pickle the Baron more. Almost halfway through our deck at this point. Reaping the Graves. So this is 1 life to cycle, essentially. What are you doing, opponent? Cycle. And I'm just gonna pass. Excuse me. I don't mind taking 6 again and going to 8. And then next turn maybe we'll do something more meaningful. Okay. Now it's 8 going to 6. I don't know how much of that matters. Okay. I'm just going to try to hang on to this darkness as long as... The bright side of casting darkness right now is that our opponent wouldn't gain 8 life this turn up to 38. So I think actually that's probably worth time walking. Because maybe our next turn is our go turn. Because 38 is quite a bit of life. I'll yield to this. Okay. Stinger. Alright, let's cycle. No need to play that out. We're not in the stage of the game where we want to be casting Stinger. We just have to play around a single Manative. Okay. So we're probably going to end up using this Teachings for Songs of the Damned here. Trying to increase storm count. Takes 10 mana. 10 beautiful mana. And even with this Reaping the Graves, you're not going to play out a Stinger. We're just not there yet. We need to keep, drawing cards, doing that sort of thing. Okay. So let's cycle the Horror of the Broken Lands. Ball Ritual's good. We have more mana now. Maybe it's fine to play out a Stinger, honestly. Alright, I'm going to regret this probably, but we're going to play it. We do have to be mindful of Mana Tithe. Another Cabal Writ. So many manas. Things. We had another Lotus. We've played a land, so we would have to hit a Lotus Petal in order to cast that. Okay. We've gained a lot of life, but I would like it if we won this turn. Okay, so now we can flashback Teachings for Songs of the Damned, which is going to make a boatload of mana. And a boatload being 11. And let's return some more creatures. Okay. Bring them all home. Cycle Horror. Another Petal's good. Okay, so we're about at that point where we have enough mana to kill our opponent. Especially with the Street Wraith, it actually just might be enough as is. Just keep cycling. Healer doing work this game. Dark Writ, what a lovely card. And cycle the Drannith Healer. Wraith. Why not? Let's play another step. We had it the whole time. And if you click on Healer first when you have all these triggers, it's just easier. It saves you a little bit of time clicking through if you just click on the one that you have the fewest triggers of. So keep that in mind if you're ever doing this with multiple triggers. Okay. Got up to 28 life. Healer was amazing that game. Um, yeah. I don't think I'd change anything. Let's just resubmit. Friendly reminder, if you're looking to stay up to date on the latest and greatest Storm content, open up that description down below, and in there you will find 7 social media channels. Join them, be a part of our community, and help make our decks better. All right, game 3. We're on the draw. This hand might be a little too slow. I'm not sure. Like, triple songs is obviously like kind of nice, but you don't really want this many songs out of the box because you'll end up burning one for not a lot of mana. Okay. Okay, tap land. Maybe a little bit of a slower start for the opponent. Sure thing. Missed attack. Also love drawing that right there. I'm just going to be lazy and suck. I like the Street Wraith draw. More creatures is great. 3 untapped lands. What do you have, opponent? Ugh, Ethereal Armor is not what I wanted to see. So now that's 6. We're going to fall to 14. Okay. Very good draw. I'm going to just pass here, and then on their end step we can cycle Street Wraith and Baron more. I want to make sure that I don't die. So this is going to be for 7, putting me to 7. And then on our turn we'll be trying to win through Mana Tithe. Okay, so let's cycle the Street Wraith. Alright, so Darkness is this time lock. I don't mind that. Creature? Wanted a creature there. So we didn't get to develop it all. It's just kind of a bummer. In their upkeep, I'm going to cast Darkness. It doesn't really matter, but in case they had triple Mana Tithe, it allows you to play around. I guess the downside is, if for some reason they tried to overextend, they could like tap out and not have like Mana Tithe the openers. Creature? Come on, deck. Cool. That gives me Threshold. I'm going to need to get pretty lucky to win this one. Right, let's go to 3 and cycle Street Wraith. Go to 1, or do I want to go to 1? I have died once to a gut shot out of this deck, and then the person posted it to Reddit. I don't think boarding a gut shot is correct, but you never know. So I could play healer here. The problem is I don't think I'm going to cycle enough this turn to stay alive, so I think I'm supposed to just go like full on combo. And I'm going to cycle this. Like, if my opponent has a gut shot, they have Thanks. Good. So I'm going to cast this Songs now, because if they try to Mana Tithe me, I'm not losing my blue. Cycle Stinger. And now we can go get another Reaping the Graves with this Mystical Teachings. This doesn't feel good. We have 1 Songs of the Damned left that we need to win with. This is going to be a tough one. Honestly, the plan might be... I don't know if that's even good. getting healer and just like cycling a bunch. I think it's like kind of a tall ask at this point. But it would allow me to cycle the Street Wraith, so maybe that's why I should do it. Yeah, I think I need to play out healer. Alright, so let's add a white mana. Play healer. Cycle. Another Street Wraith, okay. See some rituals. The last Songs of the Damned. Ooh. That one needs to count. Alright, so these all cost me 1 life. I don't think I want to play another healer. Cool. Cycle. Yeah, so when I opened up our hand and I said, like, you don't really want to draw that many songs early, like, this is sort of what I was talking about, where this Songs of the Dam needs to win the game, and, like, it's just, there's not enough creatures to do it. You'd have to draw, like, running creatures here. So that's a Time Walk. The problem is that we have a super high storm count. So if we Time Walk, we need to win with, like, I don't know, Stingers slowly, or like Horror of the Broken Land slowly. So I can cast Songs going up to 12 mana, Teachings. Now we get a Reaping the Graves. There's no more songs in the deck. I don't know what we're doing here. So I also have the impression that our opponent has Mana Tithe. I just don't know how we're supposed to. Right, so if we go, like, use 2 of these petals to play 2 Stingers, this Barrenmore is, like, it's not enough mana to keep up to Darkness and then not lose the Mana Tithe. So I want to start on Street Wraith, I think. So this brings me to 1. Maybe I just need to play a Stinger. Cycle a Dino. Yeah, I think we're probably just dead. So once again, this brings me to 1 and then up to 2. Things that doesn't do anything. Let's cycle the Carabid. Okay, now we have to pass. So the question is, what do we discard? I think you have to keep the Vestige to play another Stinger. So we could probably discard this. We can discard the Teachings. Now we need 1 more. I think you probably need to keep the Reaping the Graves. Darkness. There's no 3rd Darkness in the deck, so this is it. There's the Tithe we're going to pay. Okay. So maybe if we got, like, lucky and, like, drew Cabal Ritual, Dark Ritual's a good start. Alright, so we're going to play Stinger, and then we just need to chain, like, a bunch of cyclers in a row, pretty much. Stinger. I guess, like, if I drew Cabal Ritual, like, into Reaping the Graves, like, we stand a shot. Give me a Cabal Ritual, please. Alright. Can't believe I'm even in this game. Who knows for how long, though. Right now, we don't have enough mana to win. I really need a Cabal Ritual with this draw. It's not good. Okay. Dark Ritual, please. Ah, come on, Cabal Ritual. So I'm gonna have to chump block. Lotus Petal. That can put me to 8. And I believe I've used all my Street Wraiths. So I can't even cycle into a Street Wraith here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So close to winning there. That Cabal Ritual was just one draw earlier. Oh no, am I dead? I don't know. Well, I guess they're going to gain a buttload of life here. They're going to gain 13. Yeah, I'm probably not. Yeah, I was just a mana short of winning. So that blocks there. I'm going to throw the healer in front of this creature. No, I have to block. That has to block there. I can put this in front of this. And the healer in front of the Trailblazer. So it's worth noting that I can attack them for 4 on my turn. Now they're at 15. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm going to need to draw a Cabal Ritual or 2 here. How many are even left? I don't know. 1, 2. There's 1 Cabal Ritual in the deck. Cycle. Deck. Okay. I can do this, I think. Did I actually pull this off? Reaping the Graves, I can return 3. Return Stinger. I can return 2 Street Wraiths. Or no, I can return 1 Street Wraith, my bad. Okay, cycle. And I think that did it. Cycle. Let's go to 1 and cycle the Street Wraith. And I can do it without attacking. I can't believe I won this game. Wow. We got the 4-1. Kind of exciting. What a league. Outside of losing to the bad matchup in Tron, we crushed. I played okay, I think. Like, I don't think I had any huge blunders, but feel free to let me know if you felt otherwise in the comments. Yeah, so Cycle Storm's pretty good, I'd say, even with, you know, not a very good Tron matchup. But maybe you can fix that. Maybe you put Grizzly Survivor on the board. I usually don't like Survivor without Unearth, but maybe you have a better idea. And if you have that idea, feel free to share it in the comments. I'm always looking to learn. So thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep storming. See ya. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.